Hey guys, how's it going? Alright, I am in kind of a peaceful, free living, um, hippie, just chill kind of vibe. So, that is kind of the card we're going to make tonight. And we're going to talk about some very important things, or at least I think they're important. I don't know. We'll see if you guys do too. So, I know she's upside down. I kind of mean her to be, or not upside down, but sideways. So I want to try her in a different color other than just the black, or not just the black, but I want to do possibly 2 cards. So I'm going to go ahead and stamp her out 2 times. Okay. So just going to slide our Misty over here, and I'll kind of show you the stamp set that we're using. It is from Unity Stamp Company, and she's called Shiloh Girl, and it comes with 2 sentiments, just breathe and just let it go. So, alright. So, in the magic of YouTube land, I have one cut out, so there we go. Alright, move all this junk to the side. Okay, so I used this embossing folder. It's kind of a boho hippie vibe. I don't know. It's just, I don't know. It's cool, I think. So I went ahead and embossed an orange card, and I picked this really pretty paper. I told you guys I've been letting kind of the paper guide the cards, so that's what I did for colors for this. It goes from oranges up into yellows and kind of just fades. So I took a piece of that and I embossed it with that same stuff there. So it's 2 layers of the same embossing, but I feel like it'll be okay. I just like the colors. So, alright, so we're going to move that to the side. And then the big piece that I love that we're going to be using is from Brutus Monroe. And it's a huge, huge die. And there, you can see it better there. So there is that. And I went ahead and cut that out in a nice black, just kind of for some dramatic effect, hopefully. We'll see how it goes. So now we're just going to get her colored up. Okay, so anyway, so my question to you guys, or the topic of this video, is do you guys prep at all? And by prep, I mean, you know, I refer to them as preppers on YouTube. It can be, you know, your doomsday preppers, your just food preppers, your whatever. But basically, do you prep for emergencies? Like, you know, like this coronavirus thing. Do you, you know, do you have a stock of food? Do you, you know, like if you live in a place where there are lots of hurricanes or tornadoes or things like that, do you prepare for that quite a bit? And you know what? I cut one of these out before, and I cut these out right here, but I'm just going to go ahead and color that in because honestly I kept cutting it jagged, so I just tossed that one. So we're not going to bother with that. It can just be the look of her arms. If anybody has a problem with it, then they don't have to have my card, right? So there we go. So we're just going to get all the skin tones with an E11 called Barley Beige. So anyway, we're doing the sentiment, by the way, just breathe. So I've decided there is very little that we can control in this situation with this coronavirus stuff going on. So I'm just going to breathe through it and let it go because it's been freaking me out. And I just kind of think, let's give her, we're going to go with Nepali Yellow Y19. What was I saying? anyway, we're just going to breathe and kind of let it go. That's what I'm saying. And control the things that we can and just, not worry about the rest of it. So I have started prepping. And not a huge overabundance, but what I can. And if you'll notice, by the way, I'll show you this compared to who I cut out. You do lose, by cutting it out, you do lose these little things around her, which I actually love because they're like little hearts and things, if you guys can see that there. And I did have to lose a few of her little wispy curls that kind of, or wispy hairs, not really curls, that make her pretty cool too. But, you have to do what you have to do. So we've got orange going on, so I'm going to do some kind of orange on her. So anyway, if you want to know more about this, I can go more in depth, but we're just going to talk briefly about some of it. But please leave me a comment if you are a prepper. I've been watching lots of kind of beginner prepper channels. Like, I can't do major food prep right now exactly. Doing all I can, but it's kind of that's why they call it prepping. I guess it takes a while. You are preparing for stuff. But anyway, I think it's a good thing to do, and I definitely want to do that. I've been watching, ooh, oh my God, where'd that leg go? Somewhere far, far away. Okay, so we're just going to leave that over there and try to wipe my orange thumb off now. Oh, well, it'll just be an orange thumb. How did that come off? Color, let's see. So if we put her on here, like that, what would be, how about a red and a brown? Maybe a red. Or, yeah, I guess red. Okay. So I've been watching some channels. First one is Alaska Prepper, or Alaskan Prepper maybe. I don't know, I just like his voice. And he's pretty calming. He's not like extreme crazy prepper or something. He's just a guy that lives in Alaska, and I think he's in the military, and he's purchased some land there and built a house, and he's going to get some more. But anyway, that's not the point. So basically he is starting, or not, well, he's been prepping for a while. But I like his videos because he, even though he has way, way, way more than I can ever even imagine right now, he shows beginners basically how to do it, is what I'm trying to say, if I can spit that out. I like to watch his payday prep videos. If you go to that playlist, each payday, he'll show you how to take, $20, $50, $10, whatever, and whatever budget you're at, and how to kind of slowly build up your preps, and how he does that. And he has some, bigger ones, like with his stimulus money and things, and that's understandable. So when you can do more, you do more, and when you can't, you don't. Another one I like is, let's see, Alaskan Prepper, Canadian Prepper. He's really good. He has his own things to sell, though, so occasionally that's a little more on the selling side or whatever, but he's not super pushy. And there's this other guy, I can't remember his name, but he looks at the camera. He's shaved his head, and his eyes are really big, and they're like right there at you, and I don't know, but he's actually seems like a really nice guy, but he's very intense to watch. I'll try to find out his name and put his up there as well. Let's see. So I watch Alaskan Prepper, Canadian Prepper, City Prepping sometimes. There's a nurse on there too. I'm trying to think of her name. Maybe just like Prepper Nurse, or I don't know. I'm fairly new to all of them, so. But anyway, and then there's just one little fella I watch, and I love him. Is that Leg? I think it is. I'm going to color that just barely. His is like Mr. Tom. is his name, Deep South Bama with Mr. Tom. He lives down in somewhere in Alabama, and his is not super, like, I don't know, I just love to watch him. Like, it's not so, like, do this, this, and this, but he's kind of telling you all along, and he's kind of teaching you, and he does a lot of outside videos because he's quarantined now, and, or so, you know, like, just because he wants to be. And he talks about gardening, he talks about his cats, and just random things, but he has the most soothing voice, and he doesn't stress me out about prepping. Like, he did some little grocery store tour type trips, I guess, showing you, you know, some of the stuff you could get or things like that. So that's really interesting. And I don't know if he's everybody's cup of tea, just because, you know, it's not a like, here's your information, 1, 2, 3. I just think he's very calming and soothing, and he's a nice guy. I started trying to prep a little when I heard about, I think I'm going to do it that way. I don't know which way, if I want more yellow up here or down there, but I feel like if she's going to be, yeah. I started watching a channel called Wuhan Bin, and he was this, like, Irish guy trapped in, he was teaching in Wuhan, and then he kind of couldn't leave, and he didn't know if he wanted to leave, and all that stuff, but, alright, you know what, we're going to do the inside first. I always forget about the inside. So anyway, and I was just hearing, like, his struggles, like, with getting groceries, and he would have to go out and do this stuff, and anyway, it was like trying to take a suitcase to get food, and I don't know, it was just kind of scary to me, so somehow that started me thinking about it. Although I don't know why, like, I've never really thought much about it, because I've grown up in somewhat of a prepping family, I guess. My grandmother, she used to have tons of company. She had like 11 kids, so she was always having, like, the children come home, and even though they would move off, you know, they would come visit or whatever, and and she was really big into cooking, and so she would have, like, massive amounts of canned stuff, and she had, like, 3 freezers, and she'd always, you know, buy up tons of meat and things like that, and she grew up during the actual Depression time, so there's that too, and she knew how to can and did lots of canning. Now I wish I'd have really paid more attention to all that, and then it kind of, once she got sick, she almost put that on the outside. I would have cried. Let me focus what I'm doing here for a second. And then she got sick, and then so my mother kept her, and so she lived here with us for quite a few years, and so in turn, then lots of the kids, my grandmother's children, came here and would spend the night, because it was, the closest one was probably about a 4-hour drive, and so they would usually, you know, spend the weekend or whatever when they came. And all right, let me find a little block here. And the good thing about these is the Unity stamps in general. They're all, like, beautiful red rubber, and very, very high quality red rubber. I think the best on the market. I don't know, that's just my opinion, but you never have to prep them. They take ink beautifully, and so, yeah. Now, if I have that on straight, we'll be okay. Okay, perfect. Should I, like, let that, I'll just, like, over here, whoosh it through the air for a second. I'm going to try to let that dry. Okay, so, anyway, so then my mother basically did a lot of prepping. We had tons and tons of food on hand because we had a lot of company, and it was kind of preparing for them. I'm going to go ahead and pop her up on some foam tape here. Make sure she is wide enough. I think she's just fits perfect. That part right there doesn't stick out. So anyway, then my mom prepared for all those people and things like that. So we always had tons of food. And so later, when my mother passed away, when my grandmother passed away, my mom didn't do it as much, but we still had a good amount of company, and so she did pretty good. But then when my mother passed away, horrible time, let me tell you, horrible. Saddest thing ever. I probably shouldn't take that tape off just yet, because I'm going to try to glue this down. Alright guys, I've never used a fine line glue thing, so I found this in my drawer, and it's got like this little needle thing that goes in there, I guess, and it didn't come with glue, so I just put a little bit of my glue in there, which I guess is what you do. I'm just gonna kind of tap it down until it gets down there, I guess. I hope this is enough. I don't really even know. I'll start with this piece. Is it going to come out? It is. How cool. Okay. Well, that is neat. Anyway, so then, so when she passed away, my father and I didn't really do as much cooking or whatever, although he does cook a lot now. We were just sad and things, and then also going to the store was something to do for him, so he kind of liked just going and getting it, almost day by day, week by week kind of thing, and just planning, whatever we wanted, kind of in the short term. So we let a lot of stuff go bad, to be honest. We didn't stock up on canned things and whatever. We just did more fresh things and that kind of stuff. So I'm going to put this over top of this, because that's got glue on it everywhere. Okay, so I'm just going to press that down with this tape stuff. That is so cool. Then it doesn't make a big globby mess. I was wondering what that blue stuff was. It's my fingernail polish coming off. That's one of the things I've been doing, is not necessarily getting ready each day since we're off work and things, and unless I have to do like an online video for work and things. And even with that, with the Zoom, you have the option of kind of being on video or off video and just kind of participating, by voice or whatever. So this is a big one to do. So maybe I should just do all these things. These curly cues. I wonder if that would actually hold it. Plus that girl's going to be on top of it, so that's going to be a little bit of extra glue, But anyway, so we got way down on our stockpile. Didn't really have one anymore. We were kind of starting from scratch. I mean, we had some stuff here naturally, but it's just kind of everyday food and not a lot of canned items and things and whatever that you would call yourself like stocking up on. And I do think there's going to be disruptions in service, whether it's, I think I might do this outline too. Things like we're seeing with the Tyson chicken plant, the Smithfield place closing down, and just harder to get. Not necessarily that it's not going to be in existence. It may be higher from time to time. It might be, it may be harder transporting for some reason. What if everybody's sick or whatever that's driving all the trucks? Or what if, like I said, the plants are closing down due to sickness, or just, you know, seeds are really hard to get as far as gardening and things right now, and bad crop years, just random things, and can really mess with your food supply. So that is another reason I want to do it. Golly, there is a million of these little things. I don't know what I've hit and what I haven't. I think that's enough. I don't know. It's going to have to be a great day. It's going to take 12 years. I just keep copy paper handy. I just add another sheet. So there. So anyway, for whatever reason though, the supply chain could be down. So, ooh, sticky. And just give that a press with that. And I think it's a good idea to prep. So, I am a beginning prepper. So, come along with me for the journey. But anyway, so I basically started with what Alaskan Prepper talks about with payday preps. And each time I was getting paid, I was getting some things. There are lots of regrets because, like, I bought lots and lots of Clorox, which I already had. I can't find my lady. She's gone. Where did she go? She's gone. Oh, here she is. I forgot to put that stuff on her. Alright, so I just think she's so cool. Just hear her saying namaste. I need a little piece beside to lift her head up, I think. Her head's tilting back a little bit. That's okay. Alright. I feel like I need a black marker to just go around the edge here. When I see a little bit of white, kind of drives me crazy. So we can just try to smooth her out a little bit. Takes away where I am not that great at cutting. Oh, no. Well, there's that. Actually, darn it, pillow mark. Okay, so, I'm looking for the weakest Stella now. Anyway, so like I said, I bought a bunch of Clorox wipes and Lysol wipes and spray and things like that. And, but I didn't get any N95 masks. I was so upset. I have one, which, like, I just got because I guess allergies or cutting grass or I don't know what. Why I even have that. Excuse me. But, I did have some little, I don't know, those little hospital masks that they put out there for people if you're visiting the hospital or something. You can wear a mask as you come in. I do have some of those, and I have a few of, like, just the regular kind. But I would definitely, and someday when they come back, I will never be out of an N95 mask again, let me tell you. And the N100s are even better. Learning all about that, I'll just go full on gas mask. Alright, I see a little bit of black up here again. It's hard to decide, for me anyway, starting at the beginning and starting in the middle of a pandemic. Not really the best time to start, just so you know. But I mean, it's better than nothing. Start anytime. Now is, the present is the best. So, I don't know if that's going to lay down or not. I put some glue on that, and I put it too far out on the edge. But, alright, so I think she's awesome. Alright, so the other color I wanted to do is this one. I don't have a lady colored or cut out just yet, but so we won't do all that. I'll just finish rattling on while I'm cutting this down. I've just been cutting down a bunch of, ooh, that side's pretty. Ooh. That's pretty. Which side do you like best? I guess that side's more colorful. We'll just go with the colorful side. So anyway, I did buy only a couple of boxes of gloves from, I think I bought one from Lowe's, maybe one at Harbor Freight or something. I hadn't really, I guess, heard too much about the PPE type stuff. I was focused on more like cleaning supplies and food. That was my main focus. And I wish I had been watching more of the videos and things at that time, and I would have definitely hit up the masks like nobody's business. So that's my biggest regret. And, you know, I don't know. So, you gotta start somewhere, though. You gotta start somewhere. And like I said, I couldn't decide which was more important. Like, I stocked up on some meds. I went to the Dollar Tree. I saw a great video. I can't remember who did it. But it was like Dollar Tree prepping or something. But it was about the medicine aisle. So you can get things for $1. And so that was pretty cool. And then I got some medicine elsewhere, like, your Mucinex and things like that. So that was fine. But, and Clorox were already rolling away. Like, I could only find some here and there. It was already becoming like a thing. So I would get those anywhere I went, or as many as I could get, which is still not enough because I'm rolling through them so fast right now that, but you can, I've learned to make your own with just some paper towels and some bleach and water and things, and, oh, that's going to be crooked. Sometimes I feel like, yeah, that's all. Woohoo. Oh well, whatever. So I'm going to do the same thing there. And we'll just start it the same thing. How do you do that? Okay. So anyway, so I bought bleach and, some toilet paper, some paper towels. I didn't know toilet paper was going to be such a thing, although when you think about it, I should have bought more. And now it's back, so, I am, it's coming out a little fast, purchasing some more and things, but there are, at least the stores I'm going to, there are not limits on it now, and it seems to be fairly readily available. But if you don't have it, that is a huge, huge deal, if you know what I'm talking about. So, but anyway, so stocked up on some of that stuff. Next, I went to food, which we'll talk about in a minute, but I did pet food. Honestly, I did pet food before I did my own food. I don't like my pets to be disrupted. I wanted them to just feel normal, even if everything else is all to hell, basically. So I stocked up on quite a bit of pet food, cat litter, wet and dry dog food, and honestly, my dog's dog food is still basically out in a lot of places, and most places. I even picked up some that they can eat for the cheap, if they wanted to, and I also picked up some that I was feeding this little, it's not exactly a stray dog, but it's a long story dog. Kind of a neighbor's dog, but I haven't seen her in a while, and which kind of makes me nervous, to be honest, and I'm afraid something has happened to her, so I hope not. But I call her Scruffy. I don't know what her real name is, but that's what I call her. So I picked up Scruffy some extra food too, not necessarily the expensive type, but still dog food. So I have 3 other dogs and a cat, and anyway, so got to have some dog treats and this and that, and that's not, if we were in a serious showdown, SHFT kind of thing, then I probably, wouldn't do treats and all that good stuff. I'd just be trying to keep them alive, and hopefully nobody would be trying to, like, break in and eat my dogs. So there's that. But anyway, so I stocked up on some of that stuff. And next, I went to food, which we'll talk about in a minute, but I did pet food. Honestly, I did pet food before I did my own food. anyway, so then I moved on quickly to food. I'm a southern girl, so I like my pinto beans. So I did find some dry beans, and I also really liked canned beans. I, I like them just as well, to be honest, but not many people do. They would prefer, your put them in the crock pot and that kind of thing, but I personally don't mind. So, yay for me. But anyway, so I stocked up on those. Um, let's see. It's hard to find a room, by the way, for all this stuff. Tell me if you are sort of like prepper or prepper light, kind of like me, just sort of fiddling your way through it. And don't take any serious like advice from me because, like I said, I don't know what to get and how and what. I'm just kind of learning and watching some channels and hoping for the best, to be honest. And hopefully that we'll have time to really prep or whatever in the future. But I would love to hear your ideas if you do lots of prepping and things. And I know lots of people had tons of videos out on like their Walmart or their Sam's or Costco or whatever store you have near you, stock up haul for these like 2 weeks they told you to stay in. But I think, and that's good, but if you didn't have to go out for, at least a month at a time, that would be so much better. Look how many, germs you wouldn't have to encounter or to deal with out there. And so my prepping is, for right now, is basically just to keep us from going out or having to go out for necessities as often or as little as possible. And like I said, later, hopefully, we'll get through all this and things will settle down. And then, I can do a better job of everything. But I got some rice, some beans, some lots of canned vegetables and things like that. And they tell you stock only prep what you actually like. Like, what's the point of buying, cans of spinach or whatever if that's not something you are going to eat. But you want to prep for some family too. You're going to have naturally some people ask you for some things or whatever. You don't want to, I probably shouldn't be advertising it now, right? You probably don't want to advertise on too much that you're doing too much, or else you'll have a lot of people at your door. And I have tried to encourage friends and family to do this as well. And my aunt, she's so funny. She's like, "Oh yeah, I got a couple extra bags of groceries." Like, oh great, like okay. And she has plenty of money and plenty of resources, and they go out all the time. Like, this has not stopped them from going out, which irritates me to no end. But I thought I cut out. I thought I cut out a piece for the inside of the card, but I guess I didn't. So, but anyway, people have different views on what prepping is and that kind of thing. I've ordered a new shelf and things like that because I'm really worried about having room for everything and organizing it, and I don't know. But you learn what you can, and I would love to learn to eventually can how to dehydrate some things. I don't know. Right now I have I'd say about a good 4 month stock of food. I would love to have a year. 2 years would be great. But that's kind of like my goal, I guess, my goal place. I think you could usually get through whatever you need in a year, 2 years tops. I know your canned foods and things like that last the longest, and so I'm kind of going that route. And I'm getting way too much junk food. I'll tell you some of the things. If you guys are interested in this, email me or comment below and let me know you want to hear more about it. I'll go into more detail of what I got and how and the process. If not, then just we'll go back to card making and forget this stuff. But anyway, that's kind of where my goal is and I'm trying to get to. And so, yeah. But anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and end this since the card is basically over. And that one doesn't have a little lady cut out. So, okay. So just control what you can. Realize that, not everything is within our control, but we're going to work with what we have and control what we can in our own life. So just breathe. Remember to just breathe and we'll be fine. So I'll talk to you later, guys. Bye. Thanks for watching.